Hey everybody, welcome back to the BCR Garage. This is the Bruce City Rider coming back at you with another often neglected but important maintenance item on your bikes, and that is to change your brake fluid. Now, DOT 3 and 4 brake fluid is supposed to be changed every 2 years according to Harley-Davidson. And the reason for that is because it's hydroscopic, which means it attracts moisture. So it doesn't matter how many miles you're putting on your bike, over time it's going to attract moisture and it's going to weaken it and it's going to affect your braking. You might feel a sponginess in your pedal or your lever, and your brakes could fail you when you need them most. So again, it's important to do. I haven't done this yet on my Road Glide Custom, which we'll be working on today, and I've had it for about 3.5 years. So when I bought it, the Harley dealer said they changed all the fluids, but I highly doubt that included the brake fluid. So this potentially is 5.5-year-old brake fluid. I can't say that I really noticed much of a difference in my brake lever, but I got a tester and we'll test the moisture level in the fluid before we get going. And so this is an easy job that pretty much anybody can perform with a minimum amount of tools, and I'll show you that next. Stay tuned. Okay, now there's several different ways you can perform this job. This is how I'm doing it. I'm using a hand-operated vacuum pump. So here's the tools that you're going to need, or at least that I recommend. So you're going to need a magnetic light to shine, hang off your bike and shine some light on your work area. A brake liquid tester. You don't have to have it, but it's nice to take a measurement of your brake fluid before you change it. A wrench for your bleeder valve. Mine's a 3/8 inch, and I prefer to use an offset wrench. Puts it in a real good position because you're going to be tightening and loosening it several times. Number 2 Phillips screwdriver for the screws on your master cylinder cover. A vacuum pump. I recommend the Mighty Vac MV8000. Your brake fluid of choice. I've got Valvoline DOT 3 and 4 synthetic brake fluid. And then I also recommend one of these nylon pry bars with the notch in it right there. It helps get the bleeder valve dust cover off. They can be a bit of a bear to get off sometimes. And a couple other things I want to mention. If you've got an older bike with DOT 5 brake fluid, that does not attract moisture, and Harley just calls for inspecting that every 5,000 miles. You really rarely need to change that, if at all. The other thing is, I'm working on a non-ABS bike. If you've got ABS, supposedly you have to take it into the Harley shop because they have to use their digital technician to digitally bleed the system because of all the solenoids in the ABS system. Now, there are guys that do it on their own and they say they don't have a problem, but you'll have to do your own research on that. This is a non-ABS bike. Okay, I'll get set up and then we'll get started. Oh, and another important thing I wanted to mention is DOT 4 brake fluid is extremely caustic and harmful to paint. So you want to cover up your tank and your fender and all around your master cylinder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a slit in the shop towel and put it around my master cylinder like a bib. Okay, we're on the master cylinder side here on my handlebars, and make sure you wipe this off real good. You don't want to introduce any dirt into the system. I should also mention that I do have my bike on a lift, only because it made my master cylinders nice and level. But again, it's not absolutely required. So I'm going to put this right around here to act as a bit of a bib. Like that. Make sure to get it below the cover. Okay. Then I'm just going to cover up things with some shop rags. Okay, we're all set up. I ended up using a shop rags and a plastic garbage bag to lay over my tank. So now we're going to take our number 2 Phillips and we're going to crack these. They're not on very tight. The torque spec is only 6 to 8 inch-pounds, so they're real loose. And these are captured screws, so they won't actually come out of the cover. Now there's a gasket underneath the cover, and when we take this off, we're going to want to inspect it, make sure there's no tears or rips, and then we're going to want to keep it face down on a clean shop towel so the fluid doesn't seep under the gasket onto the back side of the cover, because then when you reinstall the cover you're going to have some seeping. So have a clean shop towel ready to go as you pull this off very carefully. There she is. So keep this face down like this and set it off to the side. I'll inspect that in a little bit. Alright, I got like a honey colored fluid. The level is good. I'll show you the max line. This says, I believe it says max on it, so you want to, when you fill it, you want to go right up to that level. Looks like I'm down just a hair. So I'll get my fluid tester. These are real inexpensive. Got it off Amazon. Pop the cover, and it's got a series of LED lights, and we want to be basically under 2%. So you just click it to turn on, and then you put the probes in your fluid, and there you go. Oop. It was hovering between 3 and 4%. We'll do that one more time. Click it on. Yeah, we're between 3 and 4%. So that means it's time to change. Okay, the first thing we want to do is take our Mighty Vac and vacuum out all the old fluid out of the master cylinder. There's no sense in draining all this down through the lines. So just put our tube in and slowly start pumping. And you see it's pulling it up through the line into our receptacle. Just get most of it out of there. Alright, she's pretty well empty. There we go. Alright, I'm going to start on the left side. And they say you're supposed to start on the side furthest from the master cylinder. In the case of these Harley touring bikes, it doesn't matter what side you start on. I'll show you why. The brake line comes down from the master cylinder onto this T right here, and then it splits off, and there's an equal length of brake line to both sides, so you can start on whatever side you want. Alright, next we're going to take our brand new bottle of .4 brake fluid. Make sure that it's sealed. You never want to store .4 brake fluid because, like I said, it attracts moisture. Then you want to punch a hole there, and there. Make one just a little bit bigger. There we go. I don't like to take off the whole seal because this will prevent splashing or quick pours. So now I'm going to fill up the master cylinder. See how nice and clear that is compared to that honey colored stuff I just took out? So you just fill it up, and now we can get to flushing and bleeding. Alright, I think my camera cut off there. Hopefully you didn't miss too much. But basically you just repeat the process. Make sure you got vacuum on the line, and then crack your bleeder valve. And you keep pumping until the fluid comes out clear and you're not seeing any more air bubbles. Alright, I'm going to close it. Back up to the master cylinder. Alright, I had to pause to empty my drain receptacle bottle here. So I'm going to do this one more time and this should be it. It's coming out clear. I just want to make sure I don't have any more bubbles. So crack it just a little bit. Yeah, it's looking good. Totally clear and no bubbles. Beautiful. Close it. Get some pressure on the line. And then remove it. Should suck it all down. Alright, so this side's done. I'll just tighten up my bleeder valve and put the dust cover back on. And then we'll go top off the master cylinder and we'll do the other side. These are torqued to 80 to 100 inch-pounds. So snug in about a quarter turn. That's good right there. Now we'll take our dust cover and pop it back on. Back up to the master cylinder, and I'll bring it around to the other side. Alright, same procedure on this side will be next. We'll get that all flushed out and bled. Same exact procedure. Alright, I got the right side flushed and bled, so I got all new fluid in here now, so we'll go ahead and test it again. Should read nothing. Well, it says less than 1%. Alright, I'll go ahead and put the cover on. Okay, this is 6 to 8 inch-pounds, so just slightly snug, and put it on nice and even. There, that's all she needs. Alright, on to the rear. The master cylinder is right there. It's the exact same procedure. Take the cover off, suck all the old brake fluid out, top it off, and then remove your saddlebag to get to the brake caliper over there, and attach the Mighty Vac. Give it some vacuum, crack the bleeder valve, and go through the exact same procedure. And there's only one caliper on the back, of course. So that'll do it, guys. So hope this helps somebody, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. This is the Bruce City Rider signing out. Later, guys.